What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel Framework Fortune. Uh, I'm going to cover some press releases that we look for during day trading, and this will be the same press releases that fit into the strategy. So that's all I'm going to go into is just different press releases, which ones are the best, things like that. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like button and subscribe. And hit that notification bell to get updates on new videos and when I'm live streaming day trading. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So this morning, IEA was the play. Now, if you look over here at the press releases, at 7 a.m. this morning, they announced two wind contract awards in Texas valued together at $150 million. So this is good. We're looking for positive press releases. We're looking for things that will get traders excited. Positivity in the press release, in the words. So they got contracts. Anytime there's a contract or awards, that's good. And then big money, 150 million. That's good. So just by looking at this line, like I don't even have to open this up. Just going here. Where's that? Right here. I can see contract awards 150 million. That's good. I can tell right away. I know that's good. Sometimes they'll seem a little good, but if they're not like blatantly obviously good, you might have to come in here and read and just make sure. So this just goes into their awards. It's going to be all positivity. And then you can see you got a quote here from the CEO, probably. Both of these projects exemplify the robust demand for clean energy. Yeah, the CEO is an enduring movement and drive large, important constructions for many years to come. So, he's talking positive, like they're going to be around for a while. So, that's good. That's good news. So, we know that's good news. And it meets all the rest of the criteria. And as you can see, we'll switch back to the 1 minute so we can look at right here this morning. Came out below the VWAP, U-shape break of the VWAP, and you get this nice run. So when they meet all the criteria and they have a good press release like this, you can get these moves. But you're looking for press releases that get people excited. So anytime you see contracts, awards, positive phase 2, positive phase 3, FDA approval, FDA acceptance, agreements. If there's agreements between two companies, that can be good. Large amounts of money. If you see, say, Warren Buffett is buying 1 million shares into a company, that can be good. So anytime there's a big investor wanting to buy into a company, it usually is on a press release, or it'll say the CEO just bought 20,000 shares of their company. That's good. If they're wanting to buy into their own company, that means they're willing to risk their own money, and they probably know that they got good things in the works. So anything like that with big investors, anytime it's positive, you see something positive. So let's go through some of these top gainers to see MRIC. Let's go through some press releases. Nothing here for today, but from Friday. I think it was Friday. Is it Thursday or Friday? But I'm pretty sure it's Friday. You see, announces uplisting to the NYSE. So uplisting, you know, that's not bad. It's a decent press release because they're getting uplisted, so they're moving up. And you see it got a move from down here 317 to 416. So let's go to 5 minute on this one and go back and look Friday and see what we got. Friday. So okay, it did nothing Friday, and then this morning it had some moves up, but I mean this probably doesn't meet the criteria, or maybe it does. I don't know. It's a very, like, if you look at this stock, it's very, looks like a barcode on a package you would buy or something. So you know, it's kind of a weird stock, but still it had the up listing, that's positive. You know, it made a nice move from $3 to 416. So let's look here. EMMS. Let's say right, EMMS, yeah. So we gotta scroll back down here. Agreement to form new public company with Standard General. So that's a good press release. Gonna move 485 to 675 with an agreement. Alright, so agreement, that's usually a good word. We got a nice move on that. It's positive. That's what we're looking for. So what we got here? This one is a strange one. Because this one I was looking at, and it has a nice squeeze pattern up here. Oops. But it didn't really do much today. And I was looking at this pattern, and I saw this, but I read it backwards, but receives non-compliance notice from the NYSE. So that basically means they're not complying with standards or whatever the criteria is to be listed on the NYSE and traded on the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange. So when that happens, they usually drop down to OTC and they're garbage stocks, so you don't want those. So that's a bad press release, really. And I read into it, and basically it says they're going to comply. They're coming up with a plan so they can stay on the NYSE. So that's kind of positive. But I mean, you get a non-compliance notice. That's not a good thing. And the stock has not dropped, so that's strange. But there's a squeeze pattern. Normally, a non-compliance letter you would see this thing crash off, but sometimes the stock market is weird like this. So let's go and look at something else. SDRL. No press release there. Nothing in a while. PPSI. Reaches agreement to sell their business for $65 million. That agreement, I said agreement was positive, but you're going to make sure that it is positive. So they're selling. This guy didn't move. Back to the 1 minute. It did move. It opened up from 590 up to 676. So it did get a decent little move. But because they're selling a business, I mean, depending on who you are and you know what you think about this company, like I don't know if that's really a good thing. You know, like you're selling your business. I mean, they're making some money, but why are they selling their business? What is this money for? Are they in? So they got halted for news release. Are they in some type of financial issue, like having issues to where they need money, so they're selling it? So you'd have to read into this to see. They think that their stock is worth more than what traders are trading it at, so they're going to reinvest. He's excited. Okay, so yeah, so there's some good stuff in there. So that's one of those ones you have to read into to see if it's going to be good or not. So you saw I did get this nice move. There's a lot of positivity in the CEO's statement. So you could say that was a good press release. Look at MTTN. So basically, it's not really a press release, but this sector of stocks, as you can see, are on the rise because of a Trump ban that he lifted. So that's good. I mean, if the whole sector's moving, then the stock will probably move. And you see here, it got a nice move, nice little move. I mean, this is probably a pretty big float company, but 479, the low 512, so a little move, but still positive. I mean, that's not anything amazing. So let's talk about that. Depending on if the stock meets the four criteria. Okay, so it's got the low float, which means it can make a really big move, and it has a high volume, which means it can make a really big move. But you need people to be excited about that stock to get that high volume. So we need a press release that's really exciting. This press release is not that exciting. It's just saying the rest of the sector is moving because of a ban that was lifted. Okay, cool. That's just all you're gonna say, but cool. All right, so you're not very excited. But you go to IEA and you hear two contracts that they're getting for $150 million. I would be excited about $150 million. If you got contracts to make $150 million, wouldn't you be excited? Yeah, so all the traders who saw this was like, oh man, they're gonna make $150 off this deal, $150 million. I'm sorry, $150 million. Then they're gonna be like, well, that's great for this company. That's a big amount of money, so everybody would be excited and buy into this. You get the bigger move. So there's also with the pharmaceutical companies, you'll have like positive phase 1, positive phase 2, positive phase 3 results. The earlier those phases are, the less impact it's really going to have. If you say positive phase 1 results, it's like, okay, that's cool, but you still have to get through phase 2, phase 3 and get the FDA approval. So that's two more steps that they have to take. And a lot of times traders see positive phase 1 and the stock might move a little bit, but they're like, whatever. So next would be phase 2. So if there's positive phase 2, you get a little bit more excited, like, oh, we're almost to phase 3. If they keep having this momentum from positive phase 1, positive phase 2, and it goes into positive phase, or into phase 3 and it's positive, then they're probably going to get FDA approval. So phase 2 results being positive can give you a little bit of a movement on some stocks. It can get people started to get excited. So you get to the phase 3 and it's positive, then people are really going to get excited. They're like, oh man, this thing's getting FDA approval. It's going to skyrocket through the roof. So we need to buy this stock. And you get pretty big moves off of positive phase 3s. So then next you would have the FDA approval. And of course, FDA approval means they can sell their drug on the market and you're going to get huge moves. A lot of these pharmaceutical companies are starting out and they don't have any drugs on the market. So when they're usually lower priced, especially the ones we trade. So when they do finally get a successful drug, that means that company is going to start making money and people are going to want to trade that stock. Now, also keep in mind this, because there's a lot of these positive phase 1, 2, and 3 results throughout the year on all kinds of different companies. But keep in mind, depending on what drug that company is making, will make a difference as well. So if they're coming out with a new Flintstone vitamin or something, like a gummy vitamin, that's not that great. It's not really doing anything. So it might move some, even with the FDA approval or whatever. But if they're coming out with a pill that cures cancer, now that's huge. Okay, so you get positive phase 2, positive phase 3 on a pill that cures cancer, then that means it's a step away from us having a cure to cancer. So that is going to be insane. Like, the movement on something like that would be crazy, because every investor is going to be buying that stock, because that is literally life changing. So you have to keep that in mind, the degree of what their medicine does when it comes to those stocks as well. So that's it for the positive phases and all that. And you can also have negative results, which will usually crash a stock. So if you're looking into shorting, you can see that, be like, well, the stock's probably going to crash. So let's see if we got anything else. And go over Friday. Agreement with Chinese Tier 1 automotive supplier. Okay, this was on Friday. You can see here, got a big move from 155 all the way up to 294. So that's a good press release. It's an agreement with a top tier Chinese automotive company. So that got traders excited. So got this big move. Another good press release. Oh, we saw that one. Let's look on the NYSE. Anything. This guy moved pretty good, but has no type of press releases. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. And good press releases work on all prices of stocks. Doesn't matter about anything, because positivity and excitement in the stock market moves stocks. So like this guy here was set to acquire Genesee in Wyoming or something for $9 billion. So that's a big acquirement. And $9 billion is a big number. So you see, it got to move from $100 to $110. So even on these higher price stocks, high volume is what moves stocks. So you have to have press releases that excite people, so you get lots of buying volume. So that's why they're important. So that's pretty much it on press releases. You're just looking for a press release to get people excited. Big numbers, with positivity, agreements, contracts, all that stuff. And you get these moves like this. So that's it, guys. Make sure you stick around, check out some other videos, learn the strategy. This press release video will help with the simple strategy that I use. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. There will be more content coming weekly. I usually try to do 2 to 3 videos a week. But yeah, that's it, guys. Until next time.